The fateful night Biggie was killed, at the height of his career.
Yes.
Do you ever feel responsible in any way, in any way?
I think I always feel some sort of responsibility because I'm in this thing with him, you know what I'm saying? He was supposed to go to London that night, and, you know, I let him talk me into, you know, not going to London and staying in LA. And in my gut, I was like, you need to get on the plane. But sometimes when you don't listen to your gut, but you know, honestly, like, you know, that's one of the things I regret, and I'm making sure that he went to London.
Diddy called early Saturday morning saying he's not going to London. Now, I know for a fact that he was prepared to go.
I'm gonna put Big, Wolf, and RZA on teleprompter and tell the world how much you love them, when in fact, you did nothing to save them, to help them. Let's reminisce. Let's reminisce that night we was at Andre Harrell's house, and I told you that this cat was coming to kill us or try to get at us that night. I told you I had intel. You know Pac just got killed. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run.
He has often pretended to be shocked by Biggie's death. To get people to feel sorry for him, he often seems devastated about Biggie's death. Yet the reality is very different from the one Diddy presents. Diddy's lies about Biggie's death have been revealed by Wendy Williams. What are the true facts and what are the lies that Diddy has spread? Don't fret, you'll soon learn the truth.
Me into, you know, not going to London and staying in LA. And that, you know, that's something that really bothered me, you know, throughout.
In an interview with Wendy Williams, Diddy confirmed what many have suspected for years. He bears some responsibility for the gruesome death of the notorious B.I.G. When questioned more about Biggie, he stated, "I think I always feel some sort of responsibility because I'm in this thing with him. He's my artist." Everyone assumed at this time that Diddy would come clean about his involvement in Biggie's death. But taking responsibility seems to be too much to expect. Diddy was not giving any admissions. In reality, he was playing the victim card once more in an attempt to elicit pity.
And this is God's world, you know, it's his plan.
Yeah.
But you know, honestly, like, you know, that's one of the things I regret, and I'm making sure that he went to London.
In an interview with Wendy Williams, Diddy stated emphatically that Biggie was scheduled to leave Los Angeles via airplane. Biggie, though, was adamant about staying. Diddy claims that he gave in to him and ignored his intuition. Biggie's life could have been saved if he had insisted that he stick to the plan.
My life is sometimes you have to really go with that decision in your gut. And in my gut, I was like, you need to get on the plane. But sometimes when you don't listen to your gut, you know, and this is God's world, you know, it's his plan.
Diddy says he still feels bad over Biggie's death even though he didn't directly cause it because it was all part of God's plan. This is God's world. It's his plan. But honestly, that's one of the things I regret is not making sure that he went to London. He said, many people fell for this sad story, but the truth is now out in the open. Now that Diddy's ex-bodyguard has shown up with proof, it's clear that he lied to the world on the Wendy Williams show. Gene Deal claims that Diddy knew about the potential security risk, but did nothing about it. This is a major accusation that disproves Diddy's account entirely. Up until this point, Diddy has been insisting that he was completely unaware of Biggie's precarious situation and that, had he known, he would have acted immediately to rescue him. That, as it turned out, was not the case. Biggie's life was in jeopardy, and Diddy knew it. Yet, he insisted on doing nothing. He did not try to increase security while keeping Biggie in LA. Every single thing Diddy claimed in that interview about Biggie's death was a lie, and not just Gene Deal will say it. Kirk Burroughs, the former president of Bad Boy Records, has also spoken out. And Kirk agrees with Gene that Puffy is being completely dishonest.
He was supposed to leave that early morning, go to London, and we would be out there for 2 or 3 days, and then he would go back.
He had to go to London for a concert, so he had no need to hang out in LA. Biggie was supposed to leave LA, but things changed at the last minute. The revelation that Diddy himself had called to tell Kirk that Biggie wouldn't be making the trip to London as planned came as a huge shock.
Called late Friday night, early Saturday morning, saying he's not going.
It was Biggie's choice to remain in LA, Diddy said, echoing his explanation from the Wendy Williams interview. But Captain Kirk swears that's not the case.
Now, I know for a fact that he would have loved not to go if his label owner had only said, you don't have to go, Big.
Biggie was prepared to fly to London and meet his adoring fans there. The fact that he stayed behind is attributable only to Diddy's orders.
Easily talked out of it by Sean so that they can make an appearance at an event in LA that Saturday night.
When he passed away, Biggie was ill. His femur was shattered in a recent vehicle accident. A journey to Los Angeles would have been unpleasant if he had decided to avoid his work obligations. The thing is, he actually did it. I couldn't understand why he suddenly changed his mind and decided not to visit London. No precautions were made to secure Biggie's safety after he missed his flight to London and remained in LA. Given that they had intelligence suggesting an attack was possible, this is quite concerning. Despite Gene Deal's repeated warnings to Diddy that the rapper not venture out into the city that day, the rapper went nevertheless. Perk warns that Biggie's decision to defy the schedule and remain in Los Angeles presents a security risk because of how meticulously everything is planned. Due to Diddy's late announcement, there was no time to make alternate measures for safety. Perk explains that after Friday night, all funds allocated for Biggie's security in Los Angeles would have to be redirected to ensure his safety in London. Nevertheless, Diddy's directives prevented Biggie from landing in London. Now Biggie had spent an extra night in LA without any protection. Diddy was the single architect of this vacuum. He had risked Biggie's life for no good reason. The night Biggie was shot, Gene Deal was riding shotgun with Diddy, and he also offers some novel interpretations of the shooting. After leaving a party late on a Saturday night, Biggie was driving home when his automobile came to a halt at a red light. Biggie was shot 4 times when a car came up next to him. Gene insists it wasn't a drive-by shooting despite widespread speculation to the contrary. Instead, the assassins were waiting for Biggie to drive by before they struck. The homicide had been plotted in advance. Was it no drive-by? The car was standing there at the corner. The stories they tell are not truthful. And now people are sitting here believing. Why, then, are people spreading false information regarding the manner of death? Is it so that nobody links Diddy's desire that Biggie stays in LA despite his work taking him to London with the planned murder? Every Biggie movie that you see, they say it's a drive-by. When the witness tells you the car was stood right there at the corner, the car was probably there all night. Gene also gave the FBI his word on all of this. After intercepting the Deal reportedly got into a car with cones and urged the driver to run the next red light, per FBI protocol, to avoid becoming sitting targets. No one, however, warned Biggie or his driver about the potential danger. Biggie's automobile had stopped at the red light and, as had been expected, the assailant opened fire. There is no longer doubt about Diddy's role in Biggie's killing. Biggie's relocation to Los Angeles was Diddy's idea from the start. Tupac's murder was only 6 months ago, and Biggie was still receiving regular threats.
Biggie was in LA. Was he getting death threats?
We were getting threats all along, all around. The threats was continual.
It was a foolhardy move to travel to Los Angeles so soon after Tupac's death. Yet, Diddy persuaded Biggie of the necessity of doing so for the benefit of the business. Biggie would have been better off avoiding Los Angeles after Tupac's death, but Diddy wouldn't listen to anyone who said as much.
Did you have any conversations with Diddy, telling him that it wasn't a good idea to go to LA?
Plenty of times.
Even after Biggie's death, Diddy has continued to embellish his tales about the two's friendship. He would like the public to believe that they were particularly close, but this is not the case. Biggie had no faith in Diddy. It is evident from his demise that he was correct in his decision not to.
Sean says they were best friends after he was dead. No, I didn't see that during the time we were working with him.
There were several reasons for Diddy's desire to see Biggie gone. After all, Diddy got a lot of money from Biggie's passing. Uncle Ron, a former bodyguard of Diddy's, has said that Diddy paid him to kill Biggie. He is still reaping the rewards of Biggie's back catalog. It appears that Diddy's avarice drove him to kill his friend and that he continues to lie about it to this day. Fans of the late rapper have long wondered why Diddy would bring Biggie to Los Angeles despite the risks. In the words of one supporter, the question remains, why did Diddy drag Biggie to California even with all the tension and the controversy surrounding Tupac's murder? Fans of Biggie are still holding out hope that Diddy would pay for his role in Biggie's death. It's high time Diddy's alleged role in the case was looked into after all these confessions and claims. A supporter commented, Suge was arrested for Tupac's murder. So when are they gonna arrest Diddy for Biggie's murder? And that's it from us today. Until next time, bye.